Sound bad. Yeah.
All right, we are live.
Sound
What's
bad.
up, guys? How's it going?
How y'all doing out there? Thank y'all for tuning in to the Bob Mortgage Jam Session show.
With Tarus,
Yeah.
right?
And with Bobby.
We good to go?
He's actually the guy from the Brady
All right.
Bunch.
Brady Bunch. Oh my God, really?
I'm just joking.
I wouldn't go that far.
I just wanted to trick people.
So in this jam session, we got Tarus Monroe stops by. Now look, this is the 86th jam session, but you're a return guest.
Yeah.
I'm excited,
you.
man. We had you on. Let's see, almost a little over a year ago. It was a 58th jam session that
Wow.
that you were on. So
Wow.
58th. Now we're 86.
Yeah. Thank you for having me on, I gotta say. Thank you for having me on.
Well, you put
again.
me in the hot seat, so I wanted to get you back. I like the back and forth that we had, so it was really good. We're going to talk some about the branding, the lead generation, and building teams and all that kind of stuff, guys. But look, he made a prediction last year. He made a prediction, and it was off. So we're going to get him back on the hot seat so he can give a prediction. We're talking Dallas Cowboys football as well.
Cowboys, go
look at
Cowboys,
that.
go
Well,
Cowboys.
You know, we'll throw some stuff out there. I think there were some big signings happened or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
If it doesn't happen on my ESPN news alert, guys, I'm sorry, man. It's hard for me to pick it up. But yeah, man, I'm super stoked. I appreciate you coming back on the show.
Thank you for having me.
And I know a lot has been going on in the last year, but we had an important event that just happened just a little while ago, and we had it at the same time last year because you're on the 58th. You had an anniversary.
Yep.
Yep. So somebody actually put up with them for another year.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
second
absolutely.
year in the anniversary.
Yeah, that
Good
was
job, Barbara.
Yeah, that was exciting to me, you know, because like I said, I had to come up with some ideas. I'm always trying to top each year. You know, last year it was the helicopter, the plane, and flying over Addison, and now this year, you know, I just said, you know, what can I do? So I just want to put that out there for all you gentlemen out there. Y'all have to step y'all game up each and every year.
I hope Jennifer's not watching
this is for the ladies. See, he's put me in a hot seat, so I'm gonna put him in the hot seat. This is how I do it in a maneuvering way. But yeah, everything was great. You know, we had a chef come out and cook a dish for us.
Yeah.
And a violinist come and play in front of us and everything.
A chef and a violinist.
Yes.
Okay.
And then let me tell you a story about when I first proposed to my wife.
Okay.
We went to Del Frisco's. I called Del Frisco's and I tell her, hey, I want to propose to my wife. And it's like, oh, cool. Just, you know, and it was kind of like, oh, you know. So we get there. Me and my wife, we get into this argument, you know, and I'm telling the people, hey, can we sit there because I want to get on one knee. Where we were sitting, I couldn't get on one knee. My wife's like, well, I don't want to sit there. And so it was like, So that was blown. So my getting on one knee was blown. So needless to say, my wife, even though I proposed to her, I hear from her every now and then, well, you didn't get on one knee. So the special thing that I did on my anniversary, I went out, bought her another bracelet, and this time I was able to get on one knee. Make up for the proposal. So hopefully everything worked out.
Hopefully, Barbara, you're okay with all that.
Yeah.
I mean, that's I got on one knee, but I think I was in like the living room of our apartment.
Hey, you know I think that's good because it ain't about. It's all about the thought. You know, the moment and what you know.
Yeah, I came home early. I was at the job I was at. I came home early. My wife got home. Jenny got home, and she's like, "What is this? What is he doing home early? Did he get fired or something?
Wow.
What happened?"
Yeah.
And she walks in, and of course, then it was like our apartment was so small. I think it was like a dining room / living room all together. and I was on one knee and proposed to her. So we went to Houston's. Actually, here in Addison. We went to Houston's to celebrate afterwards.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah, I got the Kansas City Strip.
Okay. He was down there in Houston. So the Houston here or
No, Houston's a restaurant in Addison.
Restaurant in Addison.
Yeah,
One in Addison. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, so it was good. So now I'm really though, like you're trying to one up me on all these things. I mean, I'm going on 23.
Jen,
Two.
make him
It's
step
gonna
his
change.
game up. Jen, I'm holding him accountable to
Oh,
do
my
something
goodness.
special for anniversary.
Okay.
He's gonna have to do something.
I got an anniversary and I got a birthday
Oh wow.
for Jennifer in December.
Cool.
So it's a big birthday. obviously every anniversary is big.
Wow.
So
Well,
yeah.
congratulations on that.
Yeah, man, I
And
appreciate
everything.
that. I
Yes,
appreciate
indeed.
that.
Yes, indeed. Man,
So good year for you.
yes.
Tell me what's going on with the business out there. What are you seeing in the real estate market? What are you feeling where you are with your business? So let's kind of transition into these types of things really quick if we can.
Well, right now, I see a lot of people selling fear right now. And I don't know
Fear.
if it's a profitable thing for the stock market or not, but they're really trying. At one point, they tried to sell fear.
Okay.
But people don't realize that you don't lose. The only way you lose money is if you sell.
Sure. The only way you're either
When things go
make
low.
it or sell it.
Right.
And then, you got to sell. Right.
And I like to use this terminology called hodl. Hodl is actually hold. Hold on. It's just like you just hodl. Don't pay attention to fear or
Sure.
FUD, what we call it, FUD.
Yep.
Just stay up. So right now, what I'm starting to see, I know I was doing some research and I looked at the market in New York and the high-end luxury. The high-end luxury has come to a complete halt in terms of transactional sales, and so now some of those veterans are going down a little bit, maybe to the $1 million, $2 million mark. They're trying to snatch some of those up.
Sure.
A little bit. So that's a little bit competitive, a little bit. Now in Texas, I'm noticing properties that are a little bit like over $500,000 or more, or kind of tend to stay on the market just a little bit more.
Just a little bit longer?
Yeah, a little
Okay.
bit longer. So that's causing some of those veterans to compete with some of these younger people coming into the industry and then taking the sales from them. So it is getting a little bit tougher, and I think after the election, things will probably go back to normal for another. That's just my opinion for
Sure.
another cycle.
Okay.
So after the election.
Are you finding that homes? So you're finding that homes in that call it 250 to 450, 500 are staying on the market just a little bit longer right now.
The houses
or?
that are 250 are moving.
Okay,
Houses
250
that are
are moving,
250 are
yep.
moving still.
Okay.
But you got to understand, when houses that are the luxury, maybe high-end luxury, 12 million, 1, 2, 4, 5 million, when those stop moving, those veterans start targeting the lower feed, the bottom feed, the ones where the beginners or the mid-level realtors start targeting those, get swept up.
Gotcha.
Pretty quick by
Okay.
them.
From the you're talking about the real estate, yeah.
Yeah, from a real estate aspect.
Yep.
So, but right now, I think right after the election starts, after it ends, we find out what's going on with that. I think everything will go back to normal. This is my opinion.
Okay. So the buyer sides out there, you feel like you said 250 and under, you feel like there's a really good amount of buyers out there in the market right now trying to acquire whether it's investments or primary residences in that. Would you say it's 250 and under? Would you go to 300, 350 and under? Where are you seeing the most movement?
Oh, well, like I said, the threshold pretty much stops probably around about, like say, 450,
Okay.
500. Those
Okay.
tend to stay a little bit on the market anywhere from 30, 45 days. At some point, they were closing within a week, 2 weeks. I mean, these are $500,000
Sure.
homes closing 2 weeks. But now you can kind of see that the market is slowing. So now a lot of these newcomers that's coming into the game, they're gonna have to transition their game. They're gonna have to work harder.
Yeah.
And it's not, and you got to understand, if you're not built in terms of that, with that tenacity and that think outside the box or come up with the creative ways to generate more, because what you did one point might not work
Sure.
again. So you have to,
What are some of the things that, I mean, you look at real estate agents today, what are some of the, like two or three things that you feel like they could be doing differently to capture more opportunities, more buyers, more sellers? I mean, what's some marketing things that you maybe see that people aren't doing that they should be doing?
Well, that's good. That's a good question, because I think what we need to start doing is a lot of times people are scared to invent the wheel. Sometimes it's good to think outside the box.
Okay.
Start doing something that nobody else is doing. You know,
Mhm.
come up with different ways and innovative ways to create ways to do things where no one else is doing.
Okay.
Or tap in a niche, a niche that differentiates which is pretty much redundant what I just said, but at the same time, when I say a niche like target marketing, a lot of times, like what we mentioned before, target marketing is becoming very popular now because it allows you to utilize your dollars where it's most effective, where people that are looking for you,
Sure.
which gives you them the more high propensity to work with you, as opposed to the spaghetti on the wall effect, which is a waste of money, and it's very intrusive, and it also it's just a waste of time. It has you turning in a circle. So I think the two effective ways, I think, is making sure you find who's your audience. What are you good at? Are you a person that likes to network? Are you a person good at doing getting business on the internet? If that's what you do, stick to that. Don't try to do what everybody else is doing. Stick to what you're good at.
What you're good at.
Well,
I think that goes to, guys, so a lot of times you got to find your voice. So part of finding your voice is understanding and trying different things. I mean, I feel that most of you guys will not try, because you're afraid of failure, right? Or let's say you have a great voice and you want to do podcasting, but you're afraid to be on camera. And the reality is, if you just throw up a camera and do your podcast, you have the ability to be on both, right? And you just have to get comfortable with having one camera or two cameras focused on you while you're actually having a podcast conversation, right? I mean, that's as simple as it is. And then if you're on doing video, you can actually repurpose the audio from that video and put it into a podcast version. So you have ways to do that. If you don't like, the audio video aspect, but you love to write, then you need to really go out there and go hard on a blog, right? I mean, there's so many different ways for you to be able to attract the attention of your audience. But first, you have to really explore, try. We call this fail forward opportunities, to where if you find that you're really not liking one way or the other, then you can fail forward, and it maybe finds you more into the podcasting and the blogging versus the video side. I think that's definitely important. Now, when we talk about target marketing, I was talking about like riches and niches, right? Being able to find a lot of opportunities and a lot of money that can come from niche marketing. So the way that I go about doing that is I may just put out a massive amount of marketing on, let's say, Facebook and video content, and it talks about a lot of different things. So we may talk about down payment assistance, we may talk about self-employed, we may talk about teachers or veterans, but we're just putting it out there to the masses, right? And then we're finding the people that are raising their hand, meaning they're watching the video, they're downloading the forms, they're doing things within each one of those segments, in each one of those niches. Now I have them in a niche, and then we can specifically talk to them and communicate with them as we are, like a self-employed individual. I know what their challenges are when they're self-employed trying to qualify for a home loan. So once I know that they've raised their hand, then I can be very specific to those individuals as I'm self-employed myself and talk to them like I'm one of them.
Right.
And then that's what moves them to connect more and take more action.
Right.
So I think, guys, you got to find your voice. You got to put out a massive amount of content in different segments. And then once they raise their hand, then you have the opportunity to make a lot of money in that specific niche.
So you, like you said, a trial. I call it, like I say, a trial phase. So you give you open up certain doors, because like you said, how are you going to ever know what your target audience is unless you put it all out there?
Yeah, and the way Facebook's changed all of that stuff, and your target audiences, and I mean, you can't really go in there and just start trying to target all these niches. You got to really, it's kind of become easier. It really has. You can just put out content in segments and market it to the masses, and then allow people to raise their hand in each one of those niches. And now you have them. Now you truly have that custom audience where you could go deeper with them at that point and connect with them in their niche.
Gotcha.
And that's where I feel the wealth opportunity is, because you've been able to segment them based on their selection. Right? Not you trying to figure it all out within the algorithms, because it's all gone now.
Because you might have like 20 people in this line that raises their hand on this particular subject.
Yep.
3 on that.
Sure.
2 on that particular subject. So now you know I can target. This is where my hot button is,
Yep.
where the 20 people is.
Yeah, guys, we're doing that every day. I mean, that's what I was here till 9 o'clock last night with Jessica, who heads up my social media, and we really worked hard on a lot of these niches and how we're reorganizing some of the retargeting messages. So if you find yourself, in that same position, you have questions about how we're doing it, just reach out to me. Go to BobMortgage.com. You got my numbers there, or give us a call at the office, and I'll be happy to set up a meeting, and we can kind of talk about how we're using Facebook and social media to actually generate thousands of leads on a monthly basis. So
Cool.
Works well.
Cool.
What else is going on, man, in your business? I mean, you've had a great growth year. What are you doing now with your business? Are you trying to, because you're a solopreneur, right? That's where most agents are, solopreneur.
Yes, right.
Are you looking to expand that now to a team, to kind of building a business within a business?
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, essentially that is the ultimate goal, is to get to a point where, my business is on level 7, so to speak. I've been kind of working on myself physically in terms of.
Dude, now I'm going to tell you physically. I mean, just look at this guy. I mean, you go back, if you go watch the 58th episode, which he was on a year ago, you look at him today. Now, he looked good then, but today, dude, you're fit.
Yeah.
Mentally, I got to believe that helps, right? I mean, to see physically what all you've done, but mentally, that's got to move you forward in life, right?
Right.
I didn't mean to cut you off, dude.
No.
I
appreciate that.
Damn, I want that.
I appreciate that, because I want to talk about that, because the challenge is a mental, right?
Okay.
I mean, so you have to. It transfers outside of your workout there, because you have to work hard to get to a point where you get shaped and physical, and it takes dedication. So now that I'm scaling back from that, I can start putting a little bit more energy into my work now.
Okay.
And one of my ultimate goals that I go back to is team building. And so that's where I want to put more of my emphasis is in team building and leadership roles, and also I like to get a couple mentors myself, because a lot of times people think they don't need a mentor, but I think everybody should have a mentor or center of influence, someone that can kind of coach them or go over their day-to-day once a week, someone that is solidified in what they do with the credentials or whatnot, and I think when you have that accountability partner, it gives the onus is on you, and it allows you to kind of do what you need to do.
Sure. So what is it about, like, why is building a team, doing leadership type stuff, why is that now important to you? Because
if you have goals, and I think in this business, I think everybody should have goals. If you're a realtor or anything, you should have a 1 week goal, a 1 month goal, a quarter goal, a 5-year goal.
Right.
All your goals should be compartmentalized, and it's important. It's important to have a team, and if you want to get there quicker, you got to have a team. You're not going to be able to do everything on your own,
right?
Because at this point, there's going to be times where you're going to be sick, or this time you got to go out here to a funeral, or you got to go here. So your business stops when you stop. So you have to make sure that your business is running 24 hours a day, and things are coming in, whether that's through VAs, whether that's through personal assistants, but you have to, at some point in this business, create a team.
Yeah. I think the team piece, guys, and this is, important. I know we've talked about it. I know you've been through this whole thing and through your mentors and stuff like that. I mean, when you go about building a team, it's so important you understand the reasons why you want to build a team. And a lot of it can be because you want to grow, right? You want to grow, but really you have to look at the opportunity that you have coming in, and you have to look at it and say, okay, if I were to add a member of my team, one, you would have to identify what is their goal, right? Why would they want to join the team? What is their goal personally and professionally? And then you have to look at what that opportunity you have, would it really impact their life?
Right. What do you have to offer for them?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Would it help them reach their goal?
Right.
Because if it's always one-sided about you reaching your
Right.
goal, it's gonna fail.
Right.
It's not gonna work
Right.
out, and people are not gonna be with you for the
Right.
duration of time that you want them to be there, right? So it has to be about the impact that you can make on someone
Right.
else's
And you
someone
definitely-
else's life.
And that's where I believe. I mean, there's three types of individuals that you always come in contact with. I always believe there's your confidant, which comes far in between. One you can talk to, who's going to be there by your side and is going to listen and also tell you the truth whether you like it or not.
Yeah, exactly.
Then you have
You don't want the yes person.
right. Then you have what you call a comrade. A comrade is a person who is there for the cause. They're with you. They're with you for the cause. But if the next best thing comes, they're gonna jump on that.
Yep.
So you gotta know what person you come in contact with. What do they fall in? What category do they fall in? And then the last but not least is your constituent. A constituent is a broader term for people who just believe in what you're doing. Now they are followers, but they also will lead as well. So going into the team building module, as a leader, you model in a way. You model in a way, working harder than everybody, them seeing it. You still must know that there's going to be times where people are going to leave through the process. And a lot of times when you become a leader, I think that's a bittersweet moment because you go through so many people. There's a term that is always used. You got to always be what you call quick to fire and slow to hire. And look at you because you've been through that.
Oh,
and I you see, I haven't. Yeah, I started a team when I was in Kansas City. I built a team, and I realized that experience there. But now everything has been me by me and one-on-one. And now I'm at a process now where it's time for me to start growing a business and also still thinking about the mission statement. What's the mission statement? Like you mentioned, it's got to be bigger than just me wanting to get there.
Yeah, it has to be bigger than just you. I mean,
Yeah.
you have to be really doing it because you see the opportunity that you have,
Right.
but then you have to quickly move that to, will this opportunity impact my team members' lives?
Right.
Right? Because if you can create and focus on the opportunity and have it flow through to impact their life, then what happens is they become your influencers or leaders. They become the people that, whether each category, whatever category you're putting them into, they become very loyal.
Right.
Because they know that they see the actions that you're creating is for
Model the way.
them, right? And then it's not, they don't look at it as just an employee-employee relationship. It is truly a non-one-sided relationship. It is very duly focused.
Yeah.
And you're correct. I mean,
Yeah.
you have to hire slow, fire fast.
Right.
You have to, I think, really meet regularly with them, with your team members, so that you can really make sure that you're holding yourself accountable to them and their goals,
Right.
but at the same time holding them accountable to what they said they wanted to get out of this decision, right? Because a lot of people say, well, I want this, but they won't put in the daily work to do it,
Absolutely.
right?
Absolutely.
Look, I can't hold your hand. I'm not a micromanager.
Right.
You're grown up, right? We talked about what we needed you to do. We gave you the plan that you have to work it daily. I'm working through influence to be able to impact your life. But at the end of the day, you got to do it
yourself.
right?
Right.
And so, but I think that's why like meeting with team members is so important. I think where most fail is they expect loyalty because they have the ability to drive things to them that can impact their life. So that becomes the thing that they expect. When at the end of the day, you have to still work every day to earn it.
Right, right.
Just because you bring stuff to them to impact their life doesn't necessarily mean that you've earned their loyalty.
Right, exactly.
Right, you've got to do things daily to earn it.
I think once you come to the grips to, when you treat a person horizontally as opposed to vertically,
Sure.
you create a friendly competition amongst each other, which everybody holds themselves accountable on the same level. So that means if you're doing good, I'm motivated by you, so I'm going to go out there and I'm going to do good. So it's not like I'm the boss and this and that and everybody's below me.
Yeah.
It's like we're all on the same level, yet we have different roles. And even though my role may be to be the thinker, to navigate, to guide us where we need to be going, yours may be an action player where you're good at this part or that part. We all come together collectively, and we move this ship together. So you got to get out of the mindset, the corporate ladder, the corporate concept behind titles and all that.
Sure.
I think that's kind of going away with the way the market, the way the era is, the technology era with social media and everything, and
Right.
it's a change consistent.
So what's holding you back from starting? So like you have this plan. We're working 2019. We got it going. It's going good. 2019 is a good year for you, right?
Somewhat,
Yeah.
somewhat.
So
Could be better.
where do you pull the trigger? What point are you pulling the trigger on saying I'm going to go out there now and execute on the team aspect of your business?
Well, mindset.
Okay.
So I'm a person. I'm an elusive thinker. So I'm not I don't think that you have to be doing something physically in order for it to happen.
Okay.
I think you can still be thinking, and it can be coming in fruition, whether you put it in action or not. Because the thinking part is what gets you there quicker than just doing something just to be doing something. I can go and do something and bump my head and bump something, but if I work on my structure, if I'm reading my books every day and allowing myself to hone in information, if I'm writing my goals, I'm doing all that, all of it's still working together.
All right, I'm going to challenge you on something on this, okay? Because you see that image where you have the thinker and he's sitting here with the thinker, right? The thinker image, right? When he's doing that, and then right next to him is the entrepreneur,
Right.
and there's nobody there. So, I've been in both, guys, because I'm saying this out of personal experience. I am a thinker. I'm an analytical person. I'm very detailed. And that can also be a challenge because if I don't become that person over here that just gets out there and does shit, I'm sitting here thinking, and I'm not doing. And sometimes you just got to do. It's kind of like putting the parachute on as you're jumping. You got to figure out how to put the parachute on and pull the ripcord.
Right. Well, the thinking part is a process. It's a process.
I know.
Because, like I said, a lot of times wisdom is actually better than money. Because wisdom is, a lot of times people don't understand about wisdom. People think, if I get a lot of money, I can have cars, I can have that. But it doesn't give you the peace of mind. Because the byproduct, the money is already there. I know the money going to come. But if, in other words, have you ever heard of this saying before? It's called preparation is never time wasted. Preparation is never time wasted. There's a lot of people in a hurry to become a multimillionaire overnight.
Sure.
But
yeah.
they're not willing to go through the process. See, the process is me writing my goals down, getting to the point where I'm acclimating, reading, studying, and going through even through the exercise and working out, being consistent. When I did the first 90 days, in order to get to the first 90 day, no days off, I was saying I was going to go, and I kept not, and I kept on, bumping my head and not doing anything. And then finally, it came to a point where I just kept on trying, and then I said, you know what, I want to do this thing, hurt or no hurt. And then going through 90-day workout with high intensity, you get injured, and still I was able to do that. Now I laid off a couple months, gained the weight back, and then started all over again around November or December working out. And now from this point on out, it's been 9 months since I've been working out anywhere from 5 to 6 days.
Okay.
So that's the process, you know?
Sure.
You know?
The process is all that. The outcome is physically and mentally
Right.
what you're able to accomplish, right?
Right.
Through all that, but you're still executing you're executing while you're in the process.
Right, I'm executing, and then, so I just gave you an example of me falling off the wagon, until I got to 90. What I'm doing now in going into the business phase, the same model.
Okay, all right.
Thinking, writing down, saying, okay, I'm gonna get up and write my goals down, or saying, I'm falling off, but eventually I see myself getting back.
Sure.
So it's a cycle, you know, whatever you do, like whatever passion and tenacity and dedication I put into this exercising, I'm gonna do the same thing in the business.
Okay.
You know, I'm gonna be determined. And so what do you have to do? Most leaders do, they read. So I've dedicated myself to start reading 52 books a year. Eventually, 52. You have to read because that's where your creativity comes from. It flows. Once you're reading books, reading this, reading that. All of a sudden, you just have a flow of innovative ideas come together, and then the divine intervention allows people to come and reach you of those ideas that you wanted to put together.
Right.
So you become an eagle. You're soaring. You know. So that's why I asked you, are you flooded with ideals? Because if you're at that's the level you want to be at. You know, you're at a good level.
Yeah, I mean, there's always ideas that are coming in up here, right? And so, which I love, and then I get to really think through those and then see which ones are going to be best in my world to execute, right? Because, I mean, just because you have an idea doesn't necessarily mean it's a great thing to go execute in the world that you live in right today. So it could actually jeopardize other parts of my business or my life or whatever it is. I mean, a lot of things that I think about. But it's like, okay, I have a core competency. I know what we're really great at. It's not like I'm going to go open up a Mexican food restaurant, even though our car wash, even though somebody presents me with a great opportunity and I flush it out and I look at it and I'm like, okay, yeah, this is a really great moneymaker, but it's not going to be, it's not going to add a significant value or impact to my life or the people here and all the other things that we have going on. So we just X that out and move on down, right? You got to continue to look at opportunities.
Right.
The ideas are the same way. I mean,
well, you know, Henry Ford had an ideal, and so what it sounded, you know, if in that day Henry Ford told you about the ideal he had, you'd probably say, "Oh man, that's no way, Jose."
Yeah.
But through the process, he put the passion. Nobody believed that a person with a third grade education could come out and create this, you know, this automobile that has changed our society today.
Sure.
So ideals, don't take that for granted. Anytime you have an ideal, doesn't mean it may not be for you for now.
Right.
And at the same time, comfort. See, another thing we have to understand is I'm learning that I have to go oppose everything in my comfort zone. I got to get out of my comfort zone.
Yes.
So anytime I'm out of my comfort zone, I'm doing everything out of my comfort zone, I know I'm in a good place.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, if you listen to what I said, I know you did. I didn't turn that idea away.
Right.
I actually look at them, evaluate them, think about them, and then choose to whether you move forward or not on them. So there's a difference between being closed to opportunities or ideas, or being open and just not executing on them. Right. And I think that's okay. I think being closed to opportunities or ideas is bad. Because that means you have not reached a particular level in your life to where you feel you have the ability to execute or the ability to impact or the ability to be uncomfortable. Right? And guys, you hear me talk about this quite a bit, is I love being uncomfortable. Right? That's where I find most comfort, is being uncomfortable. Because it is pushing me in areas that I don't know if I'm ready for. If I hadn't gone there, then it wouldn't have changed my particular path, right? So you have to get comfortable being uncomfortable. Absolutely. And that allows you to then decide whether or not you want to go down a particular path. Just because you choose not to it's not a bad thing.
Right.
It just
Right.
the process,
Right.
right? And
Right.
then you chose not to do that. That's perfectly fine.
Right.
So I like to hear that you're going through that mentally, right? And while you're going through it mentally, you're putting in place some things that are going to help you build
Absolutely.
the team.
Yeah, absolutely. You have to go through the phase. You got to go through the process. You can't skip. You can't take the elevator. You got to take the steps. So you got to take the steps, man.
At some point, I want that elevator, man.
We all do.
I've been climbing some steps, man.
We all do. We all do.
Yeah, that Apple Watch has nothing on me, man. Whatever that is.
Yeah, well,
how many steps you take? Shoot.
Yeah. That's you talking about the Fitbit. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that one. Okay, I have no idea. I don't use that. All right, so let's talk some Cowboys.
Yeah.
So you really like sucked it up, dude. You said 8-8 last year for the Cowboys.
Yeah.
Where'd they go?
They went. They think. You know what? I think they went 11 and they went 11-6, 11-5, somewhere around there.
Okay,
11-5.
11-5.
They went to the playoffs.
They did pretty good.
Yeah, they did. They went to the
Yeah.
second round of the playoffs, and the defense didn't show up the time they. So the defense carried them all the way, and then it came down to a team that they're not used to playing, which was the Rams. And they let a no-name. I mean, I ain't gonna call him a no-name, but he wasn't that hot during the season. And he was just running all over them, and that hurt. But
so this year we had a big. And guys, like I said, I got an alert, so that's how I know that Zeke signed a deal.
Yeah.
I don't have time for sports, right? Watching it. But I did get something. Oh, I just got Antonio Brown posted an Instagram letter from the Raiders detailing penalties for missing $54,000 in fines. See, this is how I get my alerts, guys. I have no idea.
Yeah.
So Zeke just signed an extension, 6-year extension.
Right.
So everything's now worth $50 million.
Yeah.
$50 million guaranteed.
Yeah.
Is that a good extension?
He deserves it because he's the number one running back in the league.
Well, he deserves it.
But he does.
I wouldn't say he deserves it.
Okay,
The only reason why he deserves it is because somebody's willing to pay him for it, right?
Well, if they're paying,
Gurley. Right.
You know,
They pay Gurley $45 million guaranteed, so he got 50.
Right.
Yeah.
And
that's Jerry Jones just saying, I want everybody to look at me
But you know what?
because I paid him the most.
You know what? I think that Jerry did a good job by letting him because Zeke has some behavior issues out of the field.
Sure.
And so you can't automatically award. And then there was some politics within in there in the way in the matter and how he approached the situation in terms kind of was Jerry probably felt a little disrespected in how he approached the situation. And I think Jerry was going to pay him anyway eventually. He just wanted to.
He wanted more marketing. He
Yeah,
wanted more time on camera.
It's all,
he wanted more camera
there
time
you go.
on the Cowboys.
That part.
I'm paying him. I don't really care, but I need more. I need more time.
That part.
Yeah.
Jerry is a genius in terms of marketing.
Right.
He knows how to bring attention, especially when it comes to the season getting ready to start. Now everybody's ready.
Let me tell you who, outside of Jerry and Zeke, you know who won on this deal? Dak Prescott.
Oh yeah.
Because if Zeke doesn't sign, that cat, he ain't worth the contract. He ain't worth whatever he's going to sign for, $30-40 million. He ain't worth that.
Because you're saying
because he doesn't have a number one. He doesn't have Zeke behind him.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that's making him great.
But that's subjective.
Pull him out. What do you got?
Because you got to say, well, when Zeke was suspended for 4 or 5 days, who he had to carry the weight, right?
Sure.
He was running the ball, he scored about 6 or 7 touchdowns for that season. So you can't automatically just say that part because Zeke was out for about 4 or 5 games and he wasn't there, and we still was able to get to the playoffs. Mm-hmm. Now, we're not able to make it to the playoffs, and Zeke was out for those 4 or 5 games, then you would have some little bit of validity to what you're saying, but that's kind of subjective.
I'm using the eye test.
Well, you basing the stats.
I'm just saying, look, if Zeke's not there, we got to go get a better passing quarterback, more of a pocket.
He's got a good QBR. I mean, the QBR is there. He got the stats. He's just top 5 in statistics. And
so was Tony Romo. Where'd that get us?
Well, wait a minute. Romo was. Now you can't dog on Romo either. Romo didn't have the line.
Romeo,
He didn't have the line. So now and I just think you can't. You see, you're not being fair to Romo.
I love Romo, man. I love him.
And that's the only reason why Romo kept his job is because he had the stats to
Right, he had the
justify
stats.
that.
He had the stats, but you know what? I mean, it's been a long time since we had, something to cheer about.
Yeah.
And the only thing we care about is that trophy.
Yeah, well, we're gonna get it.
Championship.
I can't say we're gonna get it this year, but I say we're a heavy contender. I think we're a very heavy contender in terms of who we have, and you never know. But at the same time, I'm not gonna say, oh, we're going to the Super Bowl.
All right, guys. You just tell me. In the comments, you tell me, did Dak win with his signing of Zeke, or we have been better off if Zeke, would Dak be better off if Zeke wasn't here?
I think we would have been better. We could have went both ways. Could have been both ways because now everybody's going to the throwing game. We've got some good.
You go
wide
ask Troy
receivers.
Aikman. You go ask Troy Aikman the reason why he was great. I mean, Emmitt Smith.
But he also had Michael Irvin.
But no, I completely agree with that. But what set it all up was just
It's a combination. It's a team, so it's a combination. Without Michael Irvin, then that puts more emphasis on Emmett not getting the yardage.
correct.
So, and the same thing with Zeke as well. But we got a nice wide receiver too.
Oh my gosh, we got to. So does that mean are we changing the prediction? Are we going to not change it because you haven't given it this time? But are we going to up the prediction from last year to this year? I mean, are you in 8-8? What are we thinking? What are we thinking this year?
This year, I'm going to say we're going to probably do 12, about 12 and 4. 12 and 4. We now got an extra game now, 12 and 5.
12 and 5.
Yeah.
Okay, 12 and 5. That is Tarus's prediction. Where do we end up?
We
How
probably
far do
get
we-
knocked out the second round, playoffs.
So knocked out in the second round?
Yeah.
Really? God, that's so disappointing. Who are we going to lose to?
Well, we won't. And one of the things who we're going to lose to, I don't know who we would lose to.
Okay.
Because I know we play. In order for us to get to Super Bowl, we would have to play New England.
Mm-hmm.
So we definitely wouldn't get past New England.
You don't think we'll get past New England? Really?
Because the organization and their structure and they have an algorithm.
Oh, to win the Super Bowl, we'd have to beat New England.
We wouldn't face them in the Super Bowl.
Patriots?
We wouldn't face them. We would be playing. We would have to play to win to beat them to get to the Super Bowl.
Oh.
I'm thinking. Yeah.
Oh, see, I don't even know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're going to beat Green Bay? We're going to beat
Yeah,
Philadelphia?
we're gonna beat Green Bay. We're gonna beat Philly.
We're going to beat New York?
Yeah, we're gonna beat New York. They don't have anybody. We're gonna beat. We'll beat them. We're gonna beat. Our schedule, man. We got. Our schedule. We're gonna beat the Redskins. We're gonna beat the Giants twice. We're gonna beat Philly twice. So I'm counting them all up. We play. I don't know if we don't play the Browns. I'm thinking, did we play the Browns?
Man, I'd like to see the Browns. I like the
I
Browns.
would like to see the Browns play, but I don't think we have them this season. But I thought we have Buffalo. Who else we have? We have some other teams.
Yeah.
But we have the Rams this year.
Who's
We
going
will
to
play the Rams.
Who's going to win this weekend between Texas and LSU?
Texas and LSU. Talking about the
College football now, man. Yeah.
You know what? I got it.
We got Texas at 9, LSU at 6.
Don't get mad at me. I'm just gonna go with Texas. I really don't catch. I don't stick up with the college football because
Okay.
I gotta do. I'm gonna work. I work so. But I'm gonna go with the Texas because I'm a Longhorn fan. Yeah.
Oh, I like that. That's a good
Go with
pick. I like the
Texas,
pick.
man.
So we got 12 and 5. We got
Yeah.
knocked out in the second round.
Yeah.
We got Texas this weekend.
Yeah.
I like that. So far, so good. I don't like the knocked out in the second round, but so far, so good on your predictions today.
Yeah, but I don't like that. I think Dak could probably hold his own.
I think so.
Yeah. A lot of people have been doubting Dak ever since he got into the league. Oh, Dak did it. Then he was winning. Oh, then he was winning. Then everybody's like, they, he's just the underdog, and he's very athletic.
I root for him. He's a
Yeah.
super nice guy. I root for him. I want to be super successful. I just think he
Yeah.
benefited the most out of this signing.
Yeah. Well,
I mean,
Yeah,
he's got his workhorse. He's
Yeah,
got his guy back there. He's
Yeah.
got his guy back there that he's gonna be able to handle.
watch what Jerry do. Watch what Jerry do. Jerry's gonna probably throw the ball a lot.
Why not? People are going to be keen on Zeke.
Yeah, he's gonna throw the ball. He's gonna switch
Yeah.
up.
Mhm.
Watch.
All right, man. What else you got?
Hey, go
What else?
Cowboys.
Go Cowboys.
Go Cowboys.
Man, hey guys, I really, really appreciate you hanging in here with Tarus and myself for the 86th jam session. Look, hopefully you got some value out of this jam session. Hopefully that we were able to deliver something that could, in one way, shape, or form, impact your life. I really appreciate you giving me your eyes and ears. Thank you so much, and more importantly, go out, make it a great day for somebody else. All right, take care.
All right.